Hello, my name is Nicole Dikon and this is my making space. My practice is rooted in my pursuit to understand ecology and how nature's ecological systems function, ebb and flow, how they support the life that is in it. I am outside and drawing from life, drawing plants and bugs, and when I like these drawings, I'll bring them back into the studio and they'll get to join my own internal studio ecosystem. I bring these drawings in and I'll make them into etchings or paintings. I'll also put them onto wood blocks and make carvings out of them. And as they come into my studio ecosystem, they become more abstracted and they become this other thing. They take on their own identity here. With my woodcuts, I structure the way I use my wood blocks a little bit different. So instead of planning an image and cutting blocks to create that image, what I do is I find the inspiration outside, bring the drawing in, and if I like it, I will put that drawing on a block and it becomes abstracted for the redrawing on the block, and then it gets abstracted again as I carve it. And then, by the time it's done being carved, it's become this new physical identity. It's taken on this new role, and then it's also welcomed into the studio as a new piece of the family, a new contributor. And then all of those wood blocks get to be accumulated and used over and over again in all of the prints. So, I've never thrown away a wood block. I don't think I have. I'm pretty sure I have all of them that I've ever made. And they just get reused, and sometimes they're background singers and sometimes they're lead vocalists in pieces, and they get to shift their identity with different colors and being printed on different papers, and they're just these like ever-evolving creatures. In doing this, I've also extended my ecological mimicry in the way that I consider my materials. So I don't throw away any of my prints if they're not successful. I will keep them in a pile or a box, and then when I'm ready to make some collage work, I will cut into them and start making collages from them. So, Prints are actions in the studio are valid, even if they're not at first sight successful or useful. And I think that that like kind of, for me, honors a reciprocity that can take place in like a spiritual realm, in like a meditative realm, in an ecological realm, right? Like we don't have to just like throw things away if they don't work immediately. And so it's very layered, my experience in my space, my creation space, because I'll have pieces from years before that haven't been finished that get to come back in and have their big finale if they get finished years later. And you know, that is that creates more of a space for me to meditate in, more of a space for me to learn from. You know, I think that my like making space, my studio space extends out beyond these walls that I create in. I, you know, am learning so much about meditation and growing food and working in community, and you know, everything just seeps into each other and informs each other. And I think that's the way that ecology functions, you know, where there's edges of water to land, you know, air to sea. These like edges, they are the most diverse ecosystems, right? And so I think that that is one of the more interesting places in my space and in my making practice, is like where those edges meet, where making visual art meets poetry. Those very specific crossroads are most interesting to me, and I think are the most fruitful as well. Guess all I can hope is that my pieces can allow for contemplative, meditative moments for people to enter into, or portals of creative imaginings as well.